Hey guys, welcome to the first official video of the channel. Today we're going to be going over the Drytron deck, basically a little intro to the deck, some of the basic combos you can do with it, and the kind of approach you want to take when you're trying to build a Drytron deck, because they're a little bit different in a sense, but yeah, I'm going to try and show you some of the basic interactions with it, and we'll go from there. We'll see where the video goes. Hopefully it should help you if you're trying to either build a Drytron deck or if you're trying to learn what the deck does, because we're about to go into a format with so many different decks, and it can be really hard to know what every single deck does. So having a basic understanding of what they might do, it goes a mile. So definitely help, and I'm making these videos to prepare for events coming up in the future, and also just for my own understanding of every deck. I'm going to try and do a nice coverage on everything. So if this video helps you out at all, leave it a like, and comment if there's anything I miss, or if there's anything particular that you'd like me to go over in a different video. But yeah, let's get started. So this is what I found to be a pretty solid Drytron list. We saw a lot come from YCS Las Vegas, lots of American players rocking the Drytron, some doing Chaos Max, some doing just Vanities, some doing the Magic Key, some playing the, I think it's like a Thunder Trap card, some playing Thunder of Ruler, with the Amorphage monster, which the Amorphage monster, if you don't know, is really good at, negates the effects of Fusion, Synchro, and Xyz monsters while they're on the field, and it skips your opponent's main phase 1, which is really good because it guarantees you're going to get the next turn. And Drytron's a deck that's really good at OTKing, so sometimes you've just got to play, if your first turn isn't going to be ideal, you just got to play it to survive, and you usually can OTK a lot easier than you can like create like a crazy board, and if you put up enough to the point where your opponent can't build a board against you whilst out on your board, you're in a really great position. So this card's really good, and paired with a Thunder Trap, the Thunder Trap skips your opponent's battle phase, so if it just means they don't get a turn at all, because if they skip the main phase and the battle phase, then they don't get a main phase 2 and it goes straight to the end phase. So people are playing this card paired with Triple Tactics Taskings, and then get to set it right away. Some people mained one side in it, a lot of crazy stuff kind of going on. However, I'm not playing a Taskings build, I'm just playing a pretty solid build. It's not trying to do any crazy FTK stuff, just some solid lines, playing around the Biru, that's really prevalent, and you know, you can play around some other stuff if you're afraid you're going to get Lava Golem or something like that. There are stuff you can do. So basics, we've got the Alpha, the Zetas, the Gamma, the 3 Deltas. You might not see everyone play 3 Delta, 2 Diviner, you might not see everyone play 2 Diviner. Then the Drytron Meteorus Draconids, a really important card to play if Droll and Lockbird comes back into the format, because it's your only line of play if Droll and Lockbird comes back. And then the 2 really good locks, the Chaos Max, which locks your opponent out of using monster effects for a turn, and Vanity's Ruler, which stops your opponent from being able to special summon, so really strong. The Drytron Fafnir field spells, again, get cut from a lot of lists, but it's also really good because they have a level modulation effect. So it's just that extra point of interruption for a Cached Hero player that they're not expecting to have to play through, because a lot of people don't know what the cards end up doing. They don't play around the field spell, so also really nice. Just plays a bit more into draw, the prep, the emergencies, and then the 7 flex with the Called by, the Talons, and the Book of Eclipse. Side deck, nothing crazy, and the extra deck also isn't very crazy. You've got the Dynamondo, which is a new card from Fort and Hypernova, which makes the Chaos Max line exist, which didn't at all before unless you were playing the Megaliths, and the Megaliths were very bricky, so it was nice to have the Dynamondo and the Chaos Max. So overall this deck's really solid. We'll jump over to my spreadsheet. where we have a few Drytron combos. They're literally the simplest combos you can get. The Alpha Zeta lines. So we've got Alpha Zeta, and Diviner Zeta. The Drytron deck's built on you need to see 2 Drytron names to combo it all, basically. If you want to do a good combo, you need to see 2 Drytron names. A lot of the time you can do it in any combination, there's usually a way, but the main way everyone wants to do it is Alpha Zeta, because you get the most value off it. So we'll start with the first one, the Alpha Zeta. And my screen flashbangs me while it loads. You can do it, Dueling Book. Well, we hope Dueling Book hasn't crashed while we do this, right? So I'll just shoot forward for all of this. So, you obviously want to. So, I'm doing this not playing around cards like Droll or anything like that. I'm starting right away with the Ash. If you're looking to play it around the Droll, you would start with Zeta and then the Alpha, and you do a weird way of doing it, but there's ways that work. But yeah, you start Alpha, then send Ben 10 off Zeta, search Marinus Drytron. Your Ben 10 will search for your Diviner. Then your XE's into Mu Beta Fafnir. Mu Beta Fafnir sends Gamma. Gamma's really important because Gamma's the one that summons 2 boys. So you can't really send Delta. You need a way into Gamma to do this combo. Normal some Diviner effect, send Herald of Arclight. Herald of Arclight searches for Blue Eyes Chaos Max. There's only 2 ways you can generically search for ritual monsters, being Alpha and the Herald of Arclight, unless you open a prep because you're insane. Marinus Drytron to bring back the Ben 10, and then we're going to use Gamma effect, tribute the Ben 10, so we get an extra Ben 10 search there. And then Ben 10 effect. You could have not used that. You could have kept the ritual spell in hand and just tributed your Chaos Max. But it's the value of having a Ben 10 in hand, so next turn you have a Ben 10 to combo with, which is really nice. So here we're going to add the ritual spell back, and then we're going to summon out Chaos Max. Then we're going to summon Herald of Mirage Light. That went really quickly, but we used our Drytron monsters to summon Herald of Mirage Light, and then we used Chaos Max and Diviner to summon the Dynamondo. And that's basically the combo. And then we'll pass down our opponent in the draw phase. We'll use Dynamondo effect, tribute as cost, targeting the Chaos Max engrave, and then Chaos Max will spec, and then on Chaos Max summon, it'll tribute itself as cost, and then your opponent can't activate monster effects for the rest of the turn. So you still have a Herald of Mirage Light effect live, so if they have any crazy, they can't activate monster effects, but they could activate a crazy spell or trap. So you have the Herald of Mirage Light as a backup there to negate any spell or traps they might use. However, a lot of the time you don't find yourself using it at all, because you want to at least guarantee you've got the Ben 10 follow-up. Say you have, we started with just 2 cards in hand, by the way, so you would have an extra free cards in hand here that we didn't use. So if you can afford to use it, but sometimes you end up keeping the Ben 10 in hand just to enable you're able to OTK the following turn. And if they destroy your Herald of Mirage Light, you'll be able to add up to 2 ritual monsters or ritual spells from your graveyard to hand. So you'll be able to recycle a Ben 10, a Chaos Max, or a ritual spell. So it just really like heightens the ceiling of your follow-up turn. You know, sometimes it's better they just don't kill it at all, but even if you're in a bad situation, you can kill it yourself, and it's really good. But that's it for the first combo. Pretty solid, just a straight way into the Chaos Max. If you open extra fairies and that kind of stuff, you could search an orange light and then make it Nibiru proof, but just for them 2 cards, it's difficult to make it Nibiru proof when you're going for the Chaos Max line. The next line is Zeta Alpha, and this combo is Nibiru proof. You might see other versions of this combo like that aren't Nibiru proof, and you get like an extra add. They might end with like an orange light and a Lancier in hand. Whereas I usually just find myself going for this one, just because it's a bit safer with the fact it's Nibiru proof. So same as last time, we just start Alpha, search for Ben 10. Then Zeta Effect Tribute to Ben 10. It's going to search the ritual spell. And Ben 10 is going to search us for our ruler. And same thing as last time, we're going to XE, summon, send the Gamma. You might notice the Mu Beta here is a big choke point in the deck. Of course, even if they imperm this here, I am still likely... what would I... If they imperm this... It's hard to say, because of course you can have extra cards in your hand. But you're likely still going to end with a Vanity's Ruler, which is kind of wild. So we're going to recycle our Ben 10 out again, use the Gamma Effect. Oh, we're adding this back. Alright, no, we're not, sorry, we're not even using Gamma Effect this combo. Because if you use Gamma Effect this combo, you're going to go over your 5 summons, which is not what we want to do. So we want to summon the Vanity's Ruler first. The Vanity's Ruler will be our 5th summon. And you'll get your Ben 10 trigger because it was tributed. So the tribute summons count as well as the Drytron tributes. So there we get our Ben 10. Then we're going to be able to resolve our Gamma now in grave because we'll tribute the Ben 10 in hand. Summon a guy, Ben 10 effect. And as me, I'll just end up searching for follow-up, but some players might search for an Orange Light, a Lancia, and whatever you're really fancying. Again, it always depends what's in your hand. If you have an extra fairy or whatever in your hand, you know, you can do some different stuff. And there's just the follow-up for me in the deck is really, really important because it does OTK like crazy. And here again we have a live Herald of Mirage Light if we need it, just from the 2 cards and a Vanity's Ruler. You know, certain decks struggle to beat the Vanity's Ruler than anything else. If you're playing an opponent and you're worried about the Lava Golem, you just don't do the Herald of Mirage Light. So we won't summon the Gamma. We'll just end just on a Vanity's Ruler. And that can be enough. You know, if you've searched like an Orange Light and a Fairy live in hand, you might feel comfortable just ending on the Vanity's Ruler. It's like totally fine. And it's not like they... Sorry, I'm being silly. It's not even like they can Lava Golem you anyway because you only... They can't special summon monsters, because Lava Golem is a special summon. But yeah, it depends what you're afraid of, right? This combo is pretty solid. I like this one a lot. And of course, you start the ritual spell in hand again, so you'll get 2 ritual summons next turn. Actually 3, because you'll use their effect to search for the 2nd ritual spell. So it's mad. The deck really does pop off. And then the last combo I'm going to show is the more awkward one. I end up doing it quite a bit when you don't see 2 Drytron names. It really does like suck when you don't see 2 Drytron names, but this is just an essential combo and you have to play the cards really. So in this combo we're going to have Zeta Diviner, normal summon Diviner. I think the reason I normal summon Diviner first is just to see what my opponent has. Oh no, you have to send it because you don't have a ritual monster. But sometimes you want to start with a Diviner and see what they do, because if your hand's full of some extra different cards, you might want to, you might not want to commit to everything if you know you're not going to be able to do the combo. It's kind of weird. You'll once you start playing the deck, you'll see what I mean, because you want to try and your card economy is really important, because if they negate your cards, a lot of the time you can like lose out on 2 cards rather than just 1. So you just got to be a bit more careful with the effects you're using. Here we use Beatrice, we send the Gamma. So yeah, the whole line is to turbo out a Beatrice really any way you can. And then you tribute the Ben 10 in hand. Search for the extra Ben 10. We're going to overlay into a Mu Beta Fafnir. Before we do that though, we add the Meteonis Drytron back to hand. Then Fafnir is going to send Alpha from our deck to the grave. You could search for a Delta here if you really want to prey on a draw. But here we're going to get the Chaos Max combo live. And then a Natasha. We could try and go for a line where we end with the big Drytron boss monster, the 4000 attack one. And you would tribute 1 under here and 1 here. So you'd have a Spell Trap negate off your Mu Beta Fafnir and a pop 2 with your Drytron monster, which is really nice. But it just depends on the matchup really. If you think the FTK, the no monster effects will win you everything, then you're away of the races. So here we'll summon the Chaos Max. We won't use his effect, and then we'll summon the Dynamondo. And then same thing as last time, summon Chaos Max. I searched the Natasha instead of anything else, just again, I've used all 3 Ben 10 doing this combo, and I'll end up tributing something that I want follow. So if my Alpha survives, that's extra ways of getting into the game, and if I keep Natasha in hand as well, it's something. It's like, because I've already used Diviner, so a normal summon on a Diviner is not going to get me into a Ritual monster. So you just want to make sure, again, all these combos, I'm trying to keep myself in the game and put up a crazy board with literally no cards. So these are the 3 combos. We can look at the deck here. This is what the current deck kind of looks like. You can see I've got some numbers here to kind of visualize the stuff you're kind of looking at. So with a 20 card Drytron deck, you have a 2.36% chance of seeing none of them. Which is, it's pretty good. You always want to see 2. That's the goal. So having such a low chance of seeing none is really good. You always want to see them in multiples, so these numbers I'm very happy with. When you change them, some people play like a 16 name count. That's the kind of stuff you're looking at. It's like now a 93% chance of seeing at least 1. So you tweak it to as you will, but there's nothing worse than opening a handful of Ben 10s and Ritual monsters that you just can't do anything with. The next one is basically our ways into Ben 10. We've got 3 Ben 10, 2 Diviner, and 1 Prep, so we've got 6 ways into Ben 10. So 50% of our games we are going to see at least 1 Ben 10. And 1.71% of the times we're going to see 3 of them. And then we have the 7 card flex, obviously, with the Book of Eclipse, the Talents, and the Called By. You can see the math there. And then the cards I've named as bricks is like 7 of them, and you're pretty much always going to end up seeing 1 of them. They're not bricks, but they're not great. So like Natasha and Draconids I'm classing as bricks, but sometimes Draconids is insane, and sometimes I search it off Cyber Emergency just to use it as ritual material, and it's like it's a brick, but the bricks with a purpose, right? Like I don't even, they're obviously like, you call them engine requirements, but like they're weird. They're really weird. It's not like the end of the world if you see them, because you need them to turn the other cards on. So I class like Draconids, Natasha, Orange Light, and I think maybe, oh yeah, it was the Max, the Vanity's Ruler. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then where's the other 2 bricks I'm classing? Oh, and the 2 ritual spells. So they're the kind of 7 cards I'd say. Everything else kind of has a purpose. Ben 10 is a brick if you don't see anything else, but like it's Ben 10, so I'm not going to put it in that category because it's really important. And then further along we've got some prosperity math, but we don't use prosperity in this version, so we should be fine. So that's the kind of thing I do when I'm looking at building my deck as well. You know, if you know how your deck's supposed to work, and you know I need to see 2 of these, it's important to kind of check this kind of stuff, especially if you want to go to like a big event. You know, you want to do 13 plus rounds and trying to do well. It's definitely worth taking the time to consider if your deck can really do 13 rounds, you know, like 39 games potentially, like you know, yeah. it's a lot of games. Eventually you are going to open a Drytronless hand, and then of course there are no side deck patterns this format, but if I was looking to prepare for like some specific decks, I would of course outline them as like Tearlament, or not Tearlament anymore, Kashtira, Labyrinth, you know, a runic deck, and I would build my ideal Drytron deck, and then I'd put the ideal side cards in, and then I'd cut the cards down as small as I could until I've got the most common cards between all the matchups, and that's my side deck basically, trying to build the best version of it, although it can be really difficult. So yeah, that is Drytron in a nutshell. What I think we'll do now is we'll just jump in a quick game of DB. Hopefully it's not too long. I am extremely low rated, so it could go really bad. It could go really bad and we get pressed against something. Hopefully we get paired against the Kashtira deck, because the Kashtira deck is really it's a very difficult matchup, because the standard combos going second don't work. But we have won the rock paper scissors, so I should be able to showcase some combos off to you pretty easy here. And our opponent has left. Right. So this hand is an example of a really weird hand. I'll definitely be able to combo with this, but it's not going to be a line that like is easy to put in the spreadsheet. If the opponent doesn't come back, I'll play it out and then we'll jump into another game. But because you don't have access to Alpha or Zeta, you're probably gonna end up using Diviner to get access to a ritual spell. You're gonna use Gamma to turbo out into Mu Beta Fafnir to then get your access to Alpha and then Ben 10 and some weird stuff. So yeah, there's two ways I can run it. I will do playing blind. I'd probably go for a Chaos Max lock. So if the opponent doesn't want to play, I'll show you the Chaos Max lock here in a more awkward hand. It's probably a lot easier to do the... No, I think Chaos Max is the way. Yeah, Chaos Max seems fine here. And we have the talents as well if stuff goes wrong. And we have a Book of Eclipse here if they Nibiru us. So a lot of the time you can just flip all your monsters face down and then still ritual summon with them. So it's not too bad, but I'll play this hand out even though we just got the free win for it. So we'll use Gamma Effect, Tribute Delta, and Gamma Specials back Delta. So we'll be able to use our Delta later in the combo. Gonna overlay into a Mu Beta Fafnir. This is probably a situation that I mentioned earlier where you're probably better off normal summoning your Diviner and then seeing if your Diviner gets negated. Because if you send Zeta here or you send Alpha and that's fine, then your normal summon Diviner gets negated, the whole combo is kind of bust. So it's probably always best to consider that, whereas I've just kind of rushed it. So instead of sending Alpha, I've changed my mind. I'm going to send Zeta because I'll get more card advantage for it. And then we will send this. Arclight will search for Chaos Max. And then we'll send Chaos Max to the grave. And special summon Zeta, and then Zeta will resolve, getting us our ritual spell. And then we will detach 2, special summon out Chaos Max, and then I think this combo I'm going to I would probably go IP Dynamondo, and there you've got the combo there. But this combo obviously isn't as great because you don't have the follow-up in hand. And we didn't add our Meteonis back because we're bad. So you should have an extra card in hand there. And of course we didn't resolve our Delta either. So we could have had a free draw in the combo as well. The same result, but we'd have had a free draw just because we'd attributed one off our field, revealed the ritual spell just to see what we draw. And of course we drew prep there. So draw and prep and search and Ben 10 might have changed our decision if we wanted to summon IP or Herald or Mirage Light. But yeah, that's it for that game. Hopefully we'll be able to find a game. Hopefully. And just check that's still recording, right? Look at it go. It's a Drytron player winning the die roll, right? Okay, so here is an example of where we've opened the one Drytron hand, and just so we're all on the same page, it's like a 14% chance of that happening. So that's the situation we are in. We will do our best to try and play it. So we'll declare Zera effect. Cool, so Zeta resolves, we can get us the Meteorus Drytron, and then we'll see if we can resolve our Ben 10. Poor side, like Bestials, and this is the worst case scenario. So we have been drolled. So in this kind of a situation, there's not too much we can do. We're going to look at our opponent's hand. And try and hopefully shut them out of the game. So yeah, they've opened double evenly, spoofing. Altergeist, you know, the user's effect. If not, it's a really bad matchup for us here as well. If not, Altergeist link monsters link summon to your field. Well, this card's you can add this card to your hand. So we're gonna put the. I feel like we gotta put spoofing back, honestly. I want to take the monster. So now my brain's just thinking. So he obviously has two evenly matched. If I set my Book of Eclipse, it's gonna be bad. The only thing I can consider doing is ritual summoning the Ben 10. Just so I get the Ben 10 search next turn. Because he'll likely kill my Zera. And if I set the Eclipse, I'm just going to lose it off evenly matched. So ending with just one is fine in my books. We got rid of the spoofing, so all he has is double evenly and one extra, the extra monster and an unknown now. Obviously seems to be a best case with us. We're still bricking. So luckily the Ben 10 kind of thing might have paid off here. We could play around the drill by not adding, but we're gonna add. I mean, if you drew drill again, like it is what it is, isn't it? It definitely is what it is. Right, so here we can search for Diviner. In this situation, we don't need to send Herald of Arclight because we have the ritual in hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send Entis and pop his set just in case it is something new. It likely just is the evenly matched. But it is worth seeing. We should be able to get like an OTK line here. Of course, OTK lines are a lot harder when we're not using Natasha. She has no monsters, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so look, it was a torrential, so it's definitely worth it. So now we're gonna Meteorus Drytron. I'm just gonna play quite freely because we now know what was in his hand. He obviously isn't gonna do too much to us, and he obviously wasn't expecting us to send the fuck, wrong monster. Yeah, you definitely can't summon Zeus that way. I saw a lot of XCs and was like, yep, that's it. Got you worried I was playing free Zeus there. Then we'll use this card's effect. Detaching. Send the gamma. Using the gamma effect. It's really important we remember our Meteornus effect here now. In this situation, I'm going to search for the alpha, I think. Alpha or delta, alpha or delta. I think it's alpha every time. Because delta's not going to get the draw. So yeah, it's just alpha every time. And hopefully you guys are still following. With this kind of stuff, alpha will get us the ritual monster, and then Ben 10 will get us the separate monster on res. So we've used our normal summon, obviously. The Chaos Max isn't going to be very good against this deck. I can't summon Draconids because I've ritual summoned twice now to get into the game. So the follow-up the follow-up thing's going to be fine. I should probably summon Mirage Light so I don't get evenly matched in the end phase. Not at the end of the battle phase, because it doesn't look like I'm going to get OTK out of this. So I just search for like Ben 10. And then Diviner? Because I could search Orange Light, but honestly I don't think I'm going to use it. Because I can just let him banish all my stuff. It's not that bad actually. Because if I summon Mirage Light, he has 2 evenly matched, and I can't play around 2 evenly matched. And my Beatrice is gonna make Zeus. So what I think I do is I send Alpha to the grave and summon Anima, so that I can banish this off my evenly, because you always want your Alpha in rotation. So I'll go battle phase, attack for 2, attack for 2, 5. And battle phase. Says evenly matched. We banish these 2 face down. Got Memphis 2. Summon the Zeus. We set 1. And we end 10, so we pretty much should definitely have guaranteed follow-up if he doesn't draw the right card. Yeah. So the Altergeist Match is going to be a lot harder for us. Obviously because cards like... he's obviously going to have like the monsters and stuff. But the traps are really difficult for the deck to deal with, because the deck's not built to beat that kind of a thing. I think the Book of Eclipse will be really good to keep in. The talent's not as crazy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my delta down to 1. I'm going to cut the Call by the Grave. I know Droll will hurt. But I need to break the board. Like, that is fine. Vanity's Ruler is way better against any of the other ones. And then do I just cut the talents and cut the Eclipse? This looks okay. Yeah, I think that's what we're going for. We could not bring the Magic Key stuff, and keep the extra 2 board break. Yeah, we'll leave the magic key stuff at home. We'll bring the magic key stuff next game. If there is a next game. Okay, so we saw Talents Evenly, Delta, Emergency, and Draconids. Honestly, not bad. I'm not mad about that at all. Obviously the Drytron, it's not, we got 2 names, so we will take it. I'm going to try and resolve even the match, likely met with a judgment, and then hopefully resolve my talents as well. I'm hoping talents will deal with his monsters. I don't expect the evenly to resolve, honestly. Alright. So he's got the Marionetta. Hopefully I can showcase Draconids off a bit. Next game I'll be looking to do like some spell trap negate board kind of stuff. Obviously, you know, I'll have to try and play around Imperm next game though. Gotta try and play around Imperm on Droll, yay. So there's the set 5 back row, must be nice. I was not paying attention to what card he set. So if you didn't know this, in DB, you can, it's protocol, you can do that, hit enter, it'll bring the card up for you if you can't remember what it does. When your opponent activates a monster effect, you send one negate the activation and destroy it. Okay. I was checking to make sure, and there's the alpha. That's really cool. Right. So there's the anti-spell. Really lucky we drew alpha to deal with the anti-spell. So we'll go standby phase, main phase, insert pause, and we'll go battle phase. It sucks that we won't get the battle phase to do something with it, but so there's it's met with a judgment. Woo! So he gets 1 monster negate now. So he gets 1 monster negate off his thing. I honestly, with 3 more back row, I cannot see me being able to break his board with just 2 monster effects. So I'm going to set my emergency, I'm going to set my talents, and I'm going to pass turn. Okay, and this is how he gets into his engine. Cooking. Just because if he manages to stop at least one of the Drytron names, I'm gonna be negging cards, and it's gonna be really hard. Like, knowing I have just alpha as well. It's not like alpha's gonna tribute a Ben 10 and I'll still get the search off the Ben 10. Yeah, it's so silly that works as well. It's so silly that you can just multi-fake a last card. Yeah, no problem. That baffles me. Can't be losing to Altergeist now, can we? Just gotta beat him for 4k, surely. You know, drawing the ritual spell would be really bad under anti-spell. I'd like to summon Draconids. So all kind of answers to try. We're not going to have access to Dynamondo. It's mainly Zeus. You're going to be trying to get like a Lyrilisk line and just... But looky here, it looks like he's done a misplay. I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to think how we could beat him. It's not too bad though, because he'll just get his multi-fake. He can like get back into a multi-fake next. And he can always bounce Marionette and also Marionette, so like he's still in a really good position. The only thing he might be nice to do, like I could draw evenly matched again, that would be nice. Interestingly, still doing this in the battle phase, because I could have an evenly matched here. If I had an evenly matched, this could like, that would have really not been great, but I guess at least he'd a normal Marionette had got his set, and then yeah, still had a multi-fake after getting evenly, I guess. Drytron spell, not exactly what we need. I'm gonna have to do my great push here. Because I won't survive the next turn, no one. So he has a trap he's obviously expecting to use. He's probably gonna do the monster negate. I can Drytron Delta here and hope to draw a card. That's good. A ritual spell. Love it. Sadly, I don't have any like normal summons or anything either to advance my game state, because like he just has to negate this. That's all he does. And even if he doesn't, I don't think it gets me anywhere. It's just unfortunate to see 4 spells under any spell. Did he thumbs up? No, did I just not see it? Okay, so we're resolving alpha, pretty wild. Even at this point though, like alpha search Ben 10, I don't have a way of tributing anyone. He's gonna get 2 bounces. I'm not gonna advance the state anymore. I'm just gonna set 4. I honestly expected him to at least negate it, and I'd have probably scooped. But we're just gonna see if he can kill me. If any of these spells resolve, I'll be alright. And if he starts bouncing spells back, like, I feel more confident I'm going to survive the turn. So down emergency. This isn't too bad. We're not looking too bad. Not looking good. If we were playing the Fui, Fuchi, Fuchi's unaffected, so it would guarantee us to survive the turn. Just one of the benefits of, instead of playing Lyrilisk. They both have their pros and cons. Lyrilisk, you're more likely to get a 4-mat Zeus, and Fuchi, you're more likely to just guarantee you like follow up into a follow up or a Zeus, or like it's very, very good at doing that. We just played into a Nima. But he has no spell and trap card zones. Wow. Kind reminder, make sure you play around anema zones. Otherwise stuff like this happens. Honestly, it wouldn't be a bad idea for him to just keep that alpha there, you know. Right, at least we get our alpha back. That is a good one for them to hit because we'll just recycle it, it's fine. So we have a 50-50 chance of either having a Nova or a Talent for our next turn. Wild. Oh, he's unicorning. He really doesn't want me to have these cards. That's me. Ooh. Also, fine with it. Like, we've got a Nova, and if he bounces, has he got an access? Has he got an access code? Alright, he's not got an access code. Weird. Believe that was an attack mode. Oh, whatever. I'm not bothered. Yeah, he's realised he can get his send-off mode. Oh no, never mind. Okie dokie. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know why you'd summon this. like, I would probably summon... I don't play Altergeist, so I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but surely Melee-Seek's right, because it gets to send as well. And then you link it. I mean, he's already had the ad, so... Okay. And we've got 16. So we survive the turn again. We've got 2 Drytron names in rotation. We're going to get an extra one if he doesn't bounce this off Silk. I kind of hope he just bounces this to hand. What's he going for here? I don't... A link 5? Celine? Okay. So adds the trap. What trap was it? Manifestation's a reborn, isn't it? Right. I have 1 spell in my graveyard. He has 2 spells in his graveyard, so it checks out. It's really weird, but it checks out. He gets the manifestation. Here comes the Melee-Seek. None of this made sense to me. Maybe I just don't understand Altergeist. We've drawn Cosmic, but a bit too late, but we drew it. Quite unfortunate, we've just seen all the spells. So... How do I... I know he has the monster negate. 2, 4, 6, 8. I can get like a 3200. I'll get the Diviner as well, actually. Alright, this player should be pretty good. I have a positive feeling about this. So we get this. I'm going to trigger out Ben 10. Just going to get us our Diviner. Right. So I don't want to normal summon Diviner right away. I know that sounds weird. Just all spells, man. Just all spells. It's absolutely mad. I have a feeling if I just normal summon Vanity's Ruler, I might win. Because this card can when this target one card your opponent controls send to the grave. So Melee-Seek just outs of Vanity's Ruler. But like, I still wouldn't die. Yeah, guys, I'm just playing to survive here by the looks of it, honestly. So I add Ben 10. And when you use that, get Gamma. Then I'll have 4. It's gonna be mad if I win this. Absolutely mad. I just want him to use his stuff, honestly. Alright. That's fine. I don't know why he's done that. It's the same result, but okay. So he still hasn't used the card that gets him his monster effect negate. What card did he just add there as well? Marina, right? So here it's pointless adding the ruler. I'm just going to add. I mean, he doesn't have access to his thing anymore, but he still always has access to it. So I'm gonna summon the Natasha. I know he has the negate attack monster, but honestly, I don't think I'm not afraid of it. I just need to keep baiting his shit out, basically. So I think maybe a bit of Fafnir will do the job of baiting whatever he has out. Like, I could have Boral sorted, but it's not enough. Right, so he's negating the summon. I don't play. Right. So this is best case scenario, because if he negates Entis, at least I get to keep Diviner. And I'm going to target the anti-spell. banish this. Torrential, also really good. So now I just summon Unicorn to deal with the Silk. Or do I? I'd summon Dynamon, then Unicorn. No way of playing around his conch like thing, which is really annoying. Trying to figure it out. Well, we've outed the board. Yay us. Can I read the negate attack one you added, please? Right, so what is this one? So when an opponent's opponent declares that if you control an Altergeist card, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you do negate the attack, if this card is special summoned, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls and negate the effects. Right, so I just need to deal with this. He doesn't control an Altergeist card. I win. What? You for real? You for real? He doesn't have an Altergeist card. Do I just win? Do I just win? Oh my god. Oh my lord. I didn't even need to use Fafnir to search a ritual spell there. That's wild. And that is how you beat Altergeist with Drytron. I'm really surprised I won that match. I think he obviously made... I don't know if it's obvious or not, but I feel like he didn't do some stuff right. Like, I think the Concurry should have been in hand. He was doing some weird stuff with his Altergeist monsters and not getting full advantage in. He obviously didn't know what my cards did very well as well, because he could have interacted with mine a lot better. But that's the joys of playing a deck like Drytron, that not everyone knows all the interactions to it. Gives you a bit more of an edge compared to like the Cashier deck the guys versed loads of times, and the Altergeist deck's really good. But yeah, if you've stuck this far through the video, thank you for sticking along. I know it's a long one, but hopefully I've gave you a little bit of insight to the deck, and I did just play a non-normal deck like not a deck you'd expect a deck like this to do well against, like a trap deck. You saw the change of pace you have to take with the deck, where you're not just trying to use all your cards in your hand, you're just trying to slow the game down, survive, build your cards up. You saw I had like 4 or 5 spells I knew I'd never get to use, but eventually we got going, and as soon as our spells started to activate, the momentum of the game just changed, and I was able to clean up from there. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. Leave a like if this did help you or you enjoyed it at all, and comment if there's anything I missed, anything you found out about the deck, or anything you'd like me to cover in the future, because I'll be going through a bunch of decks in preparation for the events coming up this year. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.